Okay, today's basketball game,
Today's weather
basically,
is going
we lost
to
by
be
a few
cloudy,
points.
no,
And,
sunny.
I wish that
sunny.
we could have did better for it.
Yeah, it's going to be
And
sunny.
we
It's
should've,
going to be 70.
won.
I hope it
I
rains.
feel like our football
soon.
game
I'm
too
really
is
hoping
not
it
as
rains.
good.
I hope it
Guys!
What is? Oh my God! Oh my God! What is that? What are you doing here? What are you doing?
Get out of here, bro.
Oh,
So you're at Ryan Films? Welcome to the club, boy.
Good morning, Portage High School. It is Friday the 13th. My name is Sana Conway, and welcome to another episode of INN. Teachers and staff, remember to order your coffee from the Applied Skills cart for $1. Contact Miss Mitchell via email to fill out the Google form. Now I'll send it over to Elena for some art desk announcements.
Thanks, Sana. I do have a video piece this week, but first some announcements. Unfortunately, due to a miscommunication that happened during the editing process of our last episode, some of my announcements got cut off. I just wanted to say that throughout the past week, the PHS band, orchestra, and choir students have been putting on their fall concerts for their parents and other members of the community. We wanted to congratulate them on a job well done, and we can't wait to see what you do in the winter season. If you're interested in supporting your friends who are in music, you can purchase tickets to their shows and also the shows that are put on by the Drama Club by going online to portageperformingarts.ludus.com. Don't forget to wish your marching band friends luck as they head off to the ISMA Scholastic Finals at Franklin Central High School. This is happening tomorrow on October 14th. Also this weekend, the Corlear Show Choir is hosting Songs and Cider at Founders Square this Sunday, October 15th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This event is free to the public, and warm apple cider and other concessions will be for sale. Come out to show your support. And now I will send it over to myself in a video interview piece about the graphic arts design classes that we offer here at the high school. What's up, Portage High School? Today we are going to be talking to Mr. Farster about the graphic design courses that are offered here at the school. And we will also, later, I will share some responses from the two students who designed the fall play poster for this year. And as I said, Mr. Farster is the design teacher here at the high school, and to start this interview, I'm going to ask him a few questions. So what are like the different types of classes that you teach?
So at the school we have probably the best art department in the area. But the classes that I teach are Principles of Digital Design Graphics, Graphic Design and Layout, Interactive Media, Computer Illustration and Graphics, and they encompass everything from traditional print design to digital-based illustration, animation, and video game design.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so since we have a lot of in order to graduate, students have to take the pathways,
Yes.
which you could choose art, music, whatever. So what would you, if students chose to take your pathway, what could they get out of it in terms of experience?
What's really great about the graphic design pathway is that by the end of the graphic design and layout class, you will be able to get certified in all three of Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, which most colleges have you do the first or second year is get certified in those software. So you're doing it at the high school level. You're receiving a 4-year college level program at a high school level, and it is something that not a lot of schools are doing. And I highly recommend taking advantage, especially if you're into the graphic arts or just the arts in general.
So you would get that experience at the high school level and then not necessarily have to do that when you go to college?
Absolutely. You get to skip some steps. And then you also have a portfolio. And if you choose not to go to college and you want to make a graphic design your trade and want to freelance or find work at a studio, you have a portfolio plus certifications to go out and find that work.
Okay. What would you like the student body to know about your classes specifically, or just all of the arts department in general?
My classes are great. Whether you know me or not, when you're in the class, they are a fun learning environment, and you're learning skills that are actually tangible to money in the end, which is what we all want to do, is make money. And our arts program, with 2D, 3D, drawing, painting, photography, ceramics, all of those are also a graduation pathway. And you can graduate with almost a 4-year art degree when you leave here. We have AP Art History and we have AP Studio, which are very focused on you learning the arts from start to finish and really putting your creative skills like out there in the open in this building.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So now, like, I guess more of a fun one.
Yeah.
Like, what would, like, is there anything that you would say is, like, the coolest part of your job?
I'm very lucky to see students creatively grow over 4 years when they're in the art department, and see them starting out and learning the process, because art is all about learning a process. And as you go through these classes, you build relationships, and you become you're friends with your students, but you get to see how much they've grown from freshman year to senior year, and the work, and see them go off to college and succeed and actually make art professionally is probably the most fun thing. And I get to do that stuff too. So I get to sit here and work on projects with my students and animate and make video games and illustrate all day long. So it's a fun gig to have.
And then, so I mentioned before about your class recently worked on the fall play poster for The Witch's Princess.
Yes.
Is there anything that you can tell us about the criteria or like the creation process of the poster and the logo?
Yeah, so with any student-led media in the building, it usually starts with somebody having an idea. In this case, Mahafa wanted to do The Witch's Princess as the fall play. We have designed the fall play posters in the graphic design and illustration classes for the past few years. So she came to me with kind of a guidebook with what she wanted. I presented it to my illustration class and my design class, the illustration class to design the poster, and really come up with a stunning visual of what that was, and that was done by Lily Bonner. And the logo, which in my graphic design class, Zion Pierce took that and created this great logo, and then the marriage of the two together. So it was really multiple classes working on the same project for that same end goal of promoting the fall play.
Is there like anything else you want to add to like that students should know, or just like?
UFOs are real. I believe in Bigfoot. Yeah. Anyway, no, UFOs and Bigfoot. No, what I really want everybody in the school to know is that our arts program is something that you really need to go through to experience, and it will be a lot of work. And like anything that you love or you're passionate about, the work will get you to a end goal that. Stop laughing at me. I talk with my hands, you clowns. That hard work and dedication to your craft pays off. And it doesn't matter if you play basketball or you play football or you're learning to weld, right? It's practice, practice, practice. If you're learning to play an instrument, your mind, your hands, your creative skill set then becomes your business, that becomes your sport. So I really would like to see more students come into the art department, whether it's in the graphic arts, theater arts,
Join theater.
Come into the visual arts, take those 2D, 3D classes, and then go on, and maybe you'll find out you love painting, maybe you find out you love ceramics, but in the end, just enjoy the arts. We have so much to offer at this school.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah,
And then,
thank you.
yeah.
Don't trust the media.
I hope you enjoyed that video. Unfortunately, due to timing things, I was not able to interview the two students who created the poster, but they have received a lot of positive feedback from students around the school. And now let's send it over to a video game review segment by Brooke Miller.
This is probably the most embarrassing thing I'm ever going to make, but Persona 3 is a lot more than a game to me. This entire series has been my special interest for about 4 years now, and projecting that out to over 2,000 people in a way that isn't ironic in the slightest is honestly pretty scary. It holds a special place in my heart as not only one of my favorite video games, but one of my favorite media in general, and if I get made fun of for showing that off, then so be it. Today I will be reviewing the PlayStation 2 release of Persona 3 FES, rather than the version currently available on modern platforms, Persona 3 Portable. This was mainly due to me wanting to flex having the game on original hardware, but considering my PS2 is currently lying broken in one of the D1 spare rooms, and I had to use Montgomery's PS2 and Biohazard controller to film this, I suppose this wasn't the greatest idea. Still, I wanted to review this version of the game due to my, and many others, conflicted feelings regarding it. Let's start with the combat. It isn't revolutionary by any means, but that doesn't mean it's heavily flawed either. The main drawback of this game's turn-based combat, compared to its more modern counterpart, is the fact that you can't control your party members in battle, apart from your main character, instead being forced to give them vague commands through a menu of various tactics, which many players found to be frustrating. I, however, don't particularly mind this aspect of the game. It can lead to frustrating situations that are out of your control, sure, but it also required me to use strategy and skill rather than having everyone use the same attack turn after turn. The AI for the party members could use some work though, and it can be annoying when you get a game over through no fault of your own. Next is the other half of Persona 3's gameplay, which is its social simulation aspects. This is the first Persona game to introduce this aspect of gameplay, known as social links, and it, unfortunately, shows. The point of this side of Persona 3's gameplay is to immerse you in its characters, but it's done questionably at best. You're forced into a romance with every girl you hit a certain rank with, you don't have social links with your male party members or several other important characters at all, and a large chunk of the social links are just strange. You have the teacher that has a crush on your 16-year-old main character, the guy that has a crush on his teacher, this thing, and so many others that are just plain forgettable. Persona 3 has some wonderful social links, sure, but these are few and far between in this version of the game. Still, the good makes up for the bad for me in this case. You can choose which social links to do, so if a character isn't interesting to you, you aren't forced to finish or even start their story. Still, this version of Persona 3 has the worst social links in the series in my opinion, and it was clear that it was the first one to have them. But, of course, it's not all negative. My favorite part of Persona 3 is its story, which actually made me bawl my eyes out like a baby on my first playthrough. It's hard to explain why this story resonated so much with me without completely spoiling it for anyone that may be interested, and trust me, this is not a game you want to have spoiled for you. Believe me when I say to play this game and experience it for yourself, or at least wait for the remake to come out on February 2nd of next year. You won't regret it. While many find a lot of aspects of this version of Persona 3 to be frustrating and take away from the experience of the game, I find its flaws to be endearing. While they can be frustrating at times, the good parts of this game overpower the bad ones for me. But should you buy it? Honestly, unless you happen to have a PS2 or suitable emulator lying around, no. You should either wait for the remake to come out on February 2nd of next year, or buy Persona 3 Portable, which is available on modern platforms. Portable has some differences that fix flaws people had with FES, but it also adopts a visual novel-style format that many can find jarring. Whichever version you prefer is fine, but I sincerely urge all of you to play this fantastic game in some form.
Thanks, Brooke, for the video games. Anyway, we've got some Halloween events coming up soon. These include the Trunk or Treat on Thursday, October 19th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And the Coraliers are also hosting a Songs and Cider event in Founders Square on October 15th from 1 to 4 p.m. And now we have Gorgeous and Scott for our weekly poll.
Welcome back to
to another edition of PHS Polls. Last week's polls was Drake versus J. Cole, and Drake won, which he shouldn't, based on that album. So, yeah, that was kind of terrible. But now we have Scott on his edition of PHS Polls.
This week is which is better, Last Kids on Earth and the Staff of Doom, or House of the Dead remake, since both are scary since it is the month of Halloween after all. I think Staff of Doom is better.
Okay, so that's the end.
Hello, Portage High School, and welcome to another episode of PHSD. I am your host, Jalen Johnson, and today I'll be covering a few things, starting off with boys wrestling, who is having a call-out meeting on Monday, and I will now be sending it to Mr. Acuna for a short message.
Oh, hey, Coach Acuna here. If you want to become a tougher and better athlete for the other sports that you play here at Portage High School, then I want you to come to the Portage Wrestling Call-Out Meeting, Monday, October 16th.
Disclaimer, you may experience blood, sweat, tears, hard work, increased strength, increased athleticism, increased mental toughness, discipline, and commitment to excellence. Thanks, Mr. Acuna. On the girls volleyball, they had their last game of the season Tuesday in a loss to Kankakee Valley, final score being 3-2. They finished the season with a record of 8-22. They left it all on the court, every game that they had. And also farewell to all you ladies that are seniors. Congratulations. And I'll now be sending it to Patrick for more sports.
Hello, Portage High School, and welcome to another episode of PHSD. I will be covering football and boys cross country this week. The boys varsity cross country team has a meet this Saturday at Sunset Farm. And we have a game against LaPorte this Friday. We also have a sectional game against Lake Central. Player of the game was J. Joe Pleasant in our last game against Valpo with 1 sack and 8 solo tackles. Have a good rest of your day.
Okay. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everyone. Happy birthday to you.
So now it's time for Sana's recommendations. Because it's Friday the 13th, I'll recommend Sana's top ways to kill someone. Thank you for watching INN. Remember to tune in next week for a new episode, and if you're at home, watch us on YouTube. Okay, bye!